Hi, my name's Derek and I want to give you a quick tour of Glazy.org. So on the home page of Glazy.org, we can see all the recent activity. By clicking recipes, you can browse recipes. We can click on one and see the entire recipe, its chemical analysis. If we click on materials, we can see all the various materials added to Glazy. But if we want to create our own recipes and materials in Glazy, we're going to need a user account. So let's do that now. Let's click the Join button. Enter our name, an email address, a strong password, confirm the password, accept the terms of service. Ideally, you'll allow email notifications so that Glazy can tell you if someone's commented or posted a photo of your recipe. You can also allow occasional promotional emails from Glazy. I haven't sent one of those out in like a year, so it's not a big deal. Click Join. Great, now we have an account. Let's save our password in the browser so that next time I need to log in, it remembers me. You'll see in the top left-hand corner is my name. If I click on my name, I'll see my user menu. I can click on my home. There's no activity here now because I haven't made anything yet. In the drop-down, you can also see my bookmarks and my recipes. Those are also displayed on the left-hand side. So let's look at our bookmarks. We don't have any yet. Recipes, don't have any of those yet either. Materials, same thing. So why don't we go create something? Click the calculator button. Now you'll see it's already given me a new recipe form, but I can also create a new material that I can use within my recipes, or I can create a chemical analysis. This might be the chemical analysis of an ancient glaze, for instance. So let's create this test recipe. I'm just going to create a very simple recipe: custard feldspar 40, silica 30, whiting 20, and kaolin 10. All right, you see it adds up to 100 and it shows me the chemical analysis below. Note that you can see where this analysis lies on the silica alumina chart. And if I click on options, I can change the axes of the chart, or I can change the type of analysis used. So let's just choose extended UMF. All right. Now, what if we want to make a little more complicated recipe by adding an additive? All right, so let's say with iron, and below kaolin, I'll put in red iron oxide at, let's say, 2%. Now, since I'm adding it on top of the 100%, I'm going to check the add checkbox. All right, now I can save my recipe. All right, the recipe is saved, and now I can click on the name to take me to the recipe page. Here on the recipe page, you see the recipe that I've just entered. Let's click the Edit Info button so we can change some metadata about this recipe. There are a lot of form fields here. We can add a description, add other names. Here I'm just going to add a subtype. Let's call this an iron or a celadon. We can add other things like transparency or firing cone. Let's just save it for now. We can come back to it later. Below the recipe, you'll see forms for adding reviews or adding comments and questions about this recipe. Below that, there's the analysis. There are links to similar base recipes. And since this is a common recipe, there's a lot of links to it. There are also links to recipes that have similar analyses. And some bookmarks, but this hasn't been bookmarked yet. All right, now if we click the Publish button, that's going to publish the recipe so that everyone can see it. You'll notice the crossed out eye icon here means it's private, which means only I can see it, no one else. If I click Publish, then everyone can see it. Let's bookmark this recipe so it's organized and I can find it later. I have an existing bookmarks folder, but I want to create a new bookmark folder. Let's just call it Test Bookmarks. All right, I've added this to the Test Bookmarks folder and you can see it right there. Okay, let's go back to the recipe. What else can we do? We can export it, we can print it. I'll just do a simple label, which just shows the recipe. Or we can do a full label, which shows the recipe plus other information like the analysis. We can go back into the calculator, and by clicking the Calc button, we can adjust the recipe, or we can copy this to a new recipe. Let's change this. Instead of iron, let's say with cobalt. And instead of red iron oxide, I will put in cobalt oxide. And let's just say 1%. It's still an additive. All right, let's save that. Now that it's saved, there are a lot of actions I can do. I can edit the info, copy it, target, bookmark. Let's try bookmarking it. And we'll bookmark it in the same folder that I just created, test bookmarks. All right, so let's go to my bookmarks and click test bookmarks. And you'll see both of the new recipes that I've just created in this folder. So bookmarks is a really handy way to organize all of your recipes. Let's go to the Glazy home by clicking the icon in the top left-hand corner. Now that we're a logged in user, we can participate in the conversation and contribute to Glazy by making comments on blog posts or comments on recipes. If we go to a recipe, we can upload a photo. Say we've tested someone else's recipe and we want to show what our result looks like. We can do that here. We can create reviews and make comments or questions about a recipe. And of course, we can compare this recipe to other recipes. Let's go to the Glazy homepage again by clicking the Glazy logo in the top left-hand corner. Here in the post section, we can also create posts. So if I have a support question, like something's not working or I have a question, just click the support button and then write a title of maybe it's just your question and then add some details. Note that these posts are always public. So if you're asking a question, everyone can see the question. Don't be embarrassed though. It's perfectly fine to ask beginner and advanced questions. Or I can just make a new post that's just a blog post or it's about chemistry or technique. I can make it public or I could just keep it private just for myself. I can add a title and add images. All right, in this video I hope I've gone through the most basic functions of Glazy. It's not all the functions. I hope you'll look through my YouTube channel for some other tutorial videos that you might find useful. Thank you.